Good morning, everyone. Welcome to AM Sports here with me, Muftau Nabila Abda. We'll be talking about the decision of Zito to resign as head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko and the issues that are currently happening at the National Sports Authority. But before that, let me tell you about the FIFA World Cup 2026. If you want to experience the tournament, if you want to be inside the stadium to watch the Black Stars play against Panama, England and Croatia on June 17, June 23 and June 27. Get in touch with Latina Travel and Tours, and for a package of $3,990, your ticket will be secured, your accommodation will be taken care of, your flight ticket as well as exclusive business networking opportunities would all be made available to you. Their office is at Alisa Hotel, Northridge. Walk in, have a conversation with them and secure your spot. Or also call them on 0244-260-789, 0244-260-789. Latina Travel and Tour, they say they are their gateway, or your gateway to experiencing the FIFA World Cup in the USA, Mexico, and Canada. Now, let me take you to the camp of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Head coach Zito has resigned. He tendered in his resignation on Monday, following the club's elimination from the FA Cup round of 16. They lost 4-2 on penalties to Ediana Stars. Asante Kotoko, in a statement on his social media pages, said Zito Kabute has resigned from his role as head coach of Asante Kotoko Sporting Club with immediate effect. Management has accepted the resignation, expressed its appreciation to the coach for his services and wished him the best in his future endeavors. This is what Kumasi Asante Kotoko said in a statement that was released yesterday in the evening. Now let's take a look at the numbers of Zito as head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. He's been in charge of the club for 7 months and he's played about 31 games, won 14 games, drawn 10 and lost 7 of those matches. He scored 43 goals and conceded 29 goals as head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. The last 5 matches of Kotoko that influenced the decision of Zito to resign were against the last 5 matches, rather. These are the next 5 matches. Let's go to the last 5 matches that he played. So these were the last 5 matches. And as I mentioned, he lost 4-2 to Ediana Stars on penalties, and this was in the FA Cup round of 16. He lost 3-1 to Heart of Lions in Kando just a few days ago. He won 3-0 against Basaka Holy Stars, drew 0-0 against Bibiane Gold Stars, and drew 0-0 against Brekum Chelsea. So these were his last 5 matches before he decided to walk away from the job. Now let's go to the next 5 matches. And he was supposed to come up against Accra House of Oak on Sunday, but he said, no, enough is enough. After 31 matches, let me move on. Let the club take a new technical direction. So Kotoko versus House of Oak, Young Apostle versus Asante Kotoko, Kotoko versus Vision FC, Carrera United versus Kotoko, and Kotoko versus Nations FC. These were supposed to be the next 5 matches. In his absence, his assistant coach, Prince Owusu, and Hamza Obin have been asked to take charge of the club in terms of its technical direction in the interim for the next few matches that are going to play. Management will make a definite appointment as and when they find the right replacement for Zito as head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Let's still stay on Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Their former coach is Prosper Nate Ogum. He was the last coach to win the Ghana Premier League for the Porcupine Warriors. This was in 2021-2022 Ghana Premier League season. However, following that Ghana Premier League success, then management, led by Nana Yawampong, decided to part company with him. However, he believes that there was a mutual respect that existed between him and the leadership of the club. He also spoke about the fact that at the time he picked the club, they had some of the best players in the local scene, and that was why they were able to dominate the way they did.
Because of the radiant aura of warmth that Ghana dispenses to its guests, and it's been a major consideration for selecting Ghana for this tournament. And we are hopeful, and we do.
I think a lot. One, I think discipline was a key factor. The caliber of players I've met too. I met the likes of Budasiru, Ganiu, Christopher Neti, Mbella, Infegi, Stephen Amankuna, Richmond Lamptey, Patrick Asma. These were, I mean, very good players. So all that I needed to do was to have my training content and my training structure in place.
That should also mean that your predecessor did a good job in recruiting these players.
Actually, I was also, yes, but then I also recruited some of these players. I mean, Richmond Lamptey came in when I was coming in, Bella, in Figi, all of them came in when I was coming in. Who else again? A lot of these young guys. So he did a good job, and then we when I say we, I mean my technical staff, we also try to also bring in other players, which also actually helped in making sure that the team became a unit. Now, if you look at the discipline aspect, that actually helped. And I want to use this opportunity to commend the captain of that time, Ganiu. He was so disciplined to the extent that whatever message you carried across, he was the first person to exemplify it, to show it for everybody to see. We had some challenges though, but then I made them understand that this is Asante Kotoko. If you play a league and you play second, you've not done anything. Because the number of times they have been second, uncountable.
Yeah.
Or that you can be remembered for as being a former player or a former coach of Asante Kotoko is winning a league. And we have the opportunity to do that. So let's all come together and work as a unit and make sure that on the field and off the field, we adhere to simple rules and regulations. So I set up a lot of rules and regulations for them. Basically, it's about code of conduct, job ethics, basic things that they need to follow to make sure that they stay in lane on the field and off the field. And I think Ganiu played a key role in making sure that this message got deep down into the minds of these players.
That is Prosper Nate Ogum, who is a former coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko and currently the head of coaching education at the Ghana Football Association. He's also the head coach of Ghana's Black Starlets. Now let's talk about some beach sporting events that are going to be happening between 8th and 10th May at the Laboma Beach, Accra. We'll be hosting the first edition of the One Humanity Beach Soccer Cup. The volleyball event is organized under the umbrella of UNAOC-led One Humanity campaign, which promotes unity, inclusion, and shared human values through sport in collaboration with Beach Soccer Worldwide. The One Humanity Beach Soccer Cup 2020 was officially presented on Monday in a press conference that took place at Accra Sports Stadium. According to Banasco Nuhusedo, who is the executive director of NASCO Feed Mines and lead organizer, the tournament represents the long-term vision for sport in Ghana.
That all of us would be great hosts to our guests when they come. And since the announcement of this tournament in Ghana, we've had major countries, major national teams expressing interest to participate in this tournament. It was our hope that we could expand the number of participating countries, but being the first of its kind and by regulations, we are limited to a 4-nation tournament. And we are happy that our brothers, our rivals, Nigerians, were the first to be considered for this tournament. So we'll be having the national team of Nigeria. Of course, the national team of Ghana, that is automatic. Yeah, let's clap for ourselves also. We have England and Germany leading the chart to be part of the tournament. It is our hope that the beauty and success of this tournament would be the beginning of major international tournaments in Ghana organized by Beach Soccer Worldwide. We are looking forward to hosting the African Games in Ghana and subsequently to host the World Cup, Beach Soccer World Cup in Ghana.
That is Nuhu Seidu speaking during the presentation of the Beach Soccer Cup. That will be happening between May 8th and May 12th later this year. Now let's go to England. Liverpool have been struggling. Over the weekend, they suffered a 2-1 loss to Manchester City. Manchester City came from behind to secure that victory. Former Liverpool player Jamie Carragher is not a happy man, and he says that head coach Arne Slot risks losing his job.
I'll say no.
You don't think they will?
Not right now. I don't know. They'd have to have a huge upturn in form, and the ones above them, as Daniel's just said, are in great form. But that was my opinion of the situation. That I think it'd be difficult to defend the manager or from staying in the job if you miss out on Champions League football. I haven't won the title the season before, but it was really interesting. There was a round table discussion, I think, a few days ago, between Billy Hogan, the manager, and Richard Hughes about basically
with key journalists.
No, it was. I think it was for the Standard Charter. It was for the club, and it went out. And in some ways, I think, and it was. They spoke about the issue they'd had this season, the difficulties, transfer wise, and the problems that they had. And I think most supporters have looked at that and almost seen that as almost a statement from the club to say, stop talking about the manager.
He's our man.
He's our man, and he's going to stay, which is absolutely fine. So it doesn't really matter what we say on that. So I think I see the manager staying almost no matter what. I mean, if Liverpool went out very early in the FA Cup and the Champions League, that might be a different, kettle of fish. But I think that chat and some things you read about, sort of, there's a big article there in the Sunday Times. You read things, and obviously little information's getting given out at different times, and it looks like they're backing their man.
Jamie Carragher there speaking on Sky Sports. Now let's hear from Manchester United manager Michael Carrick. He comes against West Ham United later tonight, and Man United is hopeful of making a 5 out of 5 under the tutelage of their former midfielder.
It's pleasing for sure. I think it's a lot. It's not easier, but it's a lot. It's easier winning games if to win games without having to score so many goals every week. For sure, we do seem to be a team that can cause a lot of problems and create opportunities and score goals. So it's definitely getting the balance right. There's still things to improve on. It's definitely something we focused on of trying to be better as a team collectively when we don't have the ball. But 3 or 4 weeks we're not going to fix everything and all of a sudden look perfect. So it's understanding that a little bit. But yeah, I think the boys have responded really well to what we've asked them, and the clean sheet, as much as everything today, the clean sheet was important for us.
Hi Michael, what sort of challenge does a team like West Ham pose for you? Obviously they're fighting relegation towards the bottom of the table. Is it a different challenge to approach?
I think you've got to go into the game understanding the situation of both teams. I think we've tried to paint that picture to the players in every game we've played so far, and it'll be the same come Tuesday night. The type of game, the feel of the game, what kind of skills we're going to have to try and draw on. Different games throw up different things. So, and yeah, for sure, teams towards the bottom of the league are really fighting for things. So but so are we, and we got a lot to fight for. So it's you know, you like to think that balances out in some ways, and it's who can come out on top at the end of it. But sure, we're totally aware of what we're going into on Tuesday night and how difficult it'll be.
What do you make of West Ham under Nuno?
Yeah, well, it's this bit of change. I think injuries as well is difficult. I think they're very good in transition, very dangerous. Got some really good attacking players. So we've looked at them already and kind of have an idea with that, as they would have done for us, you know. So, but yeah, they're a threat. They're a threat, and when they get up ahead of steam at home, they're a dangerous team. So, definitely got to be ready to cope with all
that. Meanwhile, just a few days ago, the Ghana Football Association announced beefing up of the Black Stars technical team ahead of the FIFA World Cup. Black Queen's head coach, Kim Last, is going to be joining the technical team as one of the assistant coaches for Otto Addo. Alan Rivera, a former assistant coach at Monaco, is also going to be a part of the technical team. So there are 5 new additions to the Black Stars technical team. Head on to myjoyonline.com for the details of that story. This is the full technical team of the Black Stars headed to the FIFA World Cup, led by Otto Addo. We have John Pencil, Desmond Ofer, Fatao Dawuda, Alan Rivera, as I just mentioned, is also one of the assistant coaches. Carlos Lozano is a team physiotherapist. Dwayne Parkwesi is a performance coach. Kim Last is assistant coach. And Jose Daniel Martinez Alfonso is also assistant coach and video analyst. So these are the technical team of the Black Stars heading to the FIFA World Cup. The details of this story is on myjoyonline.com, and we also have a publication of what each of them is bringing to the technical team as we head to the FIFA World Cup. That is your show for now. Head on to myjoyonline.com for some more sports. So the newspaper review is coming your way up next.